Good morning, good morning. This is Beth. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. If I sound winded, I am. I've been moving my craft room around. Again, don't laugh at me, Curtie. I know, it's crazy. I might do a final room tour. This is going to be the last time, I'm pretty sure. So, that paper that I used yesterday, I didn't do a very good job on the edges. And I'm doing the exact same thing I've been doing. I'm kind of doing 2 or 3 pages at a time, messing with bits, messing with. This is Glengarriff. Is that what it? Yeah, Glengarriff Pier. And it's a island out in the middle of Bantry Bay, and it was a home. Now I get confused because there's two of these kind of places. I think this was just gardens. This was just gardens. Um, I think I have to go back to my notes. But anyhow, this definitely had gardens, and I've got a bunch of flower pictures going on here. Um, the trip on the way out there was in this little tiny cove, not much bigger than our cove, the length of our big size of our cove. Um, and on the way, we passed harbor seals. One was a little baby. It was so cute. So I have a thing about seals. Um, Otherwise, it was just gorgeous gardens, gorgeous gardens. And everybody had gorgeous gardens, but this place really had beautiful gardens. And it used to be a private home. It has been since given over to the country of Ireland. And there's that little picture right there is some harbor seals. And I think I managed to get all of these pictures on here. And I kind of like how I did this skinny tip in. No, I glued it down. I was going to do a tip in right there, but I decided to glue it down. So, yeah, I'm huffing and puffing because I have been moving everything. The two white cabinets, Curtie, that held all my fabric got moved to where my craft table was. Um, and those are going to be supports for a different style of a desk. And then my grandmother's china cabinet is going to go where those two white cabinets were that held all my fabric. Theoretically, my fabric is going to all go back in there. Cross your fingers. Otherwise, I'm going to get rid of some stuff. I have some very old fabric that I will never ever use. A little bit more pickier about my quilting cotton, and I'm not doing like project bags and things like that that I used to make eons ago and sold on eBay eons ago. And I still have some of that thick upholstery weight fabric that can go. It can go. It can go. Let it go, Beth. Let it go. So I can downsize some things. And anyhow, and I had lining for some of those bags that is novelty fabric that I'll never use. It's not Harry Potter because it actually probably was before Harry Potter or in the beginning of Harry Potter. But it's things like that that I know I will never use in a quilt or whatever. So that says Glengarriff Pier. That's where we caught the ferry over to this little island. And I'm just trying to use up scraps of green. This might not appeal to some people. Some of people might think it's crazy mishmash of greens. My little project sheet is almost empty. I really only have because I hadn't pulled some off in the last couple days, and I've been working on like 3 or 4 pages at a time. And with tip in, some pages didn't have to be 2 pages long, so they were only 1 page. I only have, I think I said this yesterday though, the Blarney Castle, Bantry Bay, which I need a little bit more about the house, and the Rock of Cashel, and Farewell Dinner, and back into Dublin. And that's it. And you'll see I'm making some journaling cards because I've got a lot of writing to do now. And this little book, my kleptomaniac book, don't ever tell Rite Aid that I kleptomaniaced a book from them when I was picking up morphine for my mother. Long, long story. Curtie, I think you know that story. Anyhow, I rounded the corners that I cut out. It's a perfect size. Um, Inked it up with green ink, added some borders, added some titles. Yes, this is where Amy comes into play. She's not far. And yes, I know exactly where she is. I actually she has her own drawer now and it's labeled Amy. Jane Davenport has her own, and Kelly Perky has her own. Um, but I actually have, I've moved so many times now. See, there's Amy right there. And you'll love my stamp pad. It's my finger. Um, or my acrylic block is my finger. I have a box that has the light connectors for my lamps and things like that because I have to bolt them down to the table, and the bolts and my printer, picture printer, and my two project books that I'm working in currently are all in a special box so that I don't lose them. um, okay, so there's the one for the seals, and then this one I think is flowers. Oh, and I added some shamrocks. And guess what I found in our front yard? A patch of clover. I'm looking for a 4-leaf one, but so far I haven't found one. I can't remember what I wrote on this one. I was going to use that thing, but it's too big, so I think I just wrote flowers or Glengarriff. I don't remember what I wrote now. I did it like about 3 hours ago. Okay, Garnish Island. That's what that place is called, Garnish Island. And I just took the pen and went sideways and made kind of like a border. I'm writing on a piece of paper bag um, that'll be trashed eventually. And it's not perfectly even, but I go around with another color and kind of even it out. Um, and I liked how I really like how these little journaling cards turned out. I might make a bunch of these and journal on these the rest of the way, but then I have to tip them in, and I don't. And I'm really getting ready for Halloween. Oh, I signed up for a journaling class. It's local. Well, it's up in the north part of the state in a town called Anderson, and it's a Sunday a month, September, October, and November. The second Sunday of the month, for like 3 hours. And she wanted to do it. I've done some stuff with her on Instagram, like what do I want to call them? Prompts before, and um, and I still follow her on Instagram. And she made a blurb. I'm thinking about giving a class, and it's only open to 10 people because of the location. And she said, first come, first serve. So I emailed her yesterday, and I said, "Do you still have openings?" And she's like, "Yes," and told me who to call. I paid for it, and I'm in. So that's going to be fun. And then I'm taking that one. It starts on the 12th, but you can do it whenever, from Carolyn Doobie on jelly plating techniques. So maybe I'll have prettier journals in the future. I don't know. I really like the mishmash of everything. I'm a mishmash kind of girl, I guess. And then I made a title for food, and I kept just putzing around today. Um, I added some washi tape in places to kind of just add accents, I guess. I don't know. My husband's gone to the hardware store, our little local hardware store, and got me a piece of wood to make my shelf for my workspace. And then, oh, I know, I made another one about the harp. The harp has such an interesting history in Ireland. And because I only got half a harp, or 3/4 of a harp, or 4/5 of a harp, I put a little title card next to it and wrote harp, as one does. And it signifies a lot of the Gaelic culture from way back when. But Guinness, and it used to, is it on their flag, or it's not on their flag, but it was going to be. It's on their coins, and that's what that is a photocopy of a coin blown up. But Guinness originally took the harp sign and used that in their label, and they still do. And when Ireland wanted to use it for different things, they're like, no, that's our trademark. We have the harp. So Ireland flipped it around, and they have the one that faces that direction, which I thought was interesting. But it goes back to all their Gaelic culture and everything. And uh, I thought that was interesting. And they used to play the harps in all these beautiful old castles and things like that all the time. And now that I think about it, when you watch history programs or movies um, made back in those days, they do have a lot of harps and minstrels in their castles and things. Um, so, uh, this is me. Oh, and I ripped a little corner, but I patched it back. This is me making another pretty green page um, and trimming the edges for the harp. Did I not do that one in green? I have to go back and do that one in green. I like the green better. But, oh, paddleboard tails. All right, I think I'm almost done, so I'm going to start paddleboard tails. Um, Sunrise was beautiful. I have a picture. I was followed by a tsunami today. There were a bunch of boats going out, and they created a little bit of a wave action because it was perfectly still. But the tsunami followed me back. It was like catching up to me by the time I got about 2 docks away. And I thought, man, if I get knocked over, because I'm still worried about falling in with this camera, my phone. But I didn't. And oh, and my neighbor caught me because I was spying on the osprey. Oh yeah, I added some green paint and white spots because you can't have any white spots. I was spying on the osprey. I found one, and he had a fish in his talons, and I tried to get him to figure out where he was going because I don't think our osprey nest is occupied. And then my neighbor caught me in his weeds trying to figure out where the nest is. And he's like, good morning. I'm like, oh, good morning. So then I was pretending like I was just taking pictures of sunrises. No stealth mode for me. And this was like 6:45. Like, what is he doing up so early in my cove? Anyhow, he's lived here longer than I have, so that's okay. Anyhow, thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. I might do a room tour Tuesday. I doubt if I have it all organized by tomorrow. Monday. No, this will be Sundays. I don't know. We'll see. In the next few days. Thanks for watching. Bye.